you know what I think, yeah? Deep this, yeah? Do you know what I think? I think that there's not enough support network as you were talking about. But I think if we're talking specifically about men in general, I think if you're a mum watching this, a partner, a sister, go to the men in your family, let them know that you're sincere, you're proud of them, let them know that you can talk to them. If they have anything to share, that you're here for them, all of that stuff. Because I don't think as men we feel enough of that genuine love, and I think that's the only way. Everyone should be good to everyone no matter what, but that's the only way that we can now try to change that scenario of men not being heard, because it is in a bad state.
Can I add on to that though? And this is specifically for the women. When guys do feel comfortable to come and talk to you, or if you offer that service, try and do it. It's natural to judge, but try and be as open-minded and liberal as possible when listening to them, because I find, and I will speak as women, we have this thing where our own thoughts and opinions tend to come into play. So if a guy says, oh, I've got a scenario, we tend to think of it as a woman. It's like, well, if a man did that to me, sometimes we have to take ourselves out of our emotions, and this is the difference between men and women. Women tend to think with emotions, men tend to think with logic. We have to try to get out of our own emotions when listening, in order for you guys to be comfortable enough to talk to us, because once we start building our back up and projecting it onto you, naturally, as most people, you're not going to feel comfortable enough to talk. So,
and if you don't have any supportive response, it's okay to say, just to listen, say I hear you. Let me think on that. Don't say I don't know what to say. Let me think on that, and I'll get back to you.
You know what? I think when I'm asking the question, I'm thinking about, can a man be heard out fully? As in like, fully as in like, let me finish the full context before you respond. Because men, what would be powerful is if you had a group of men talking to each other about vulnerabilities, and you had a group of women who were just sitting and listening, no responding in or trying to, but just listen, hear them out. Because then you take, and we need to do the same. But I think we have the ability. I don't know. I may be being a bit biased, but I feel like we have the ability to do that with women better. But I might be being biased.
I don't think
we do, or we should.
I don't think.
No, I think we have the ability to do it because we.
When you say we, you mean us as men.
Men, because we're logic, so we don't.
I don't think it's that.
I think there's something in it, because I've been observing it for a while, and this is why the question came to me, because I was like, when I'm observing men and women talking, I see men listen. They might not be listening though, by the way.
No, but we're meant to
they let them finish.
No, but we're meant to. You got to remember.
But we get.
We're meant to be providers and protectors, yeah? So that comes naturally. So when you're being put there, we have to...
We're meant to be providers and protectors. What are women meant to be?
Like saying these ain't my words.
No. We're meant to be providing what?
Right?
What do we
Is it
provide?
Well, if you look let's go on a quick historical.
By the summary, let's just go on.
Let's go on a quick historical. If you look at like the Egyptians and stuff, you had the real. It's gonna sound mad, yeah, but the real kings were the women. Yeah? The real ones in power were the women.
Yeah.
And then you've also got a saying, behind every successful man is a powerful woman, or whatever. Yeah. So you have to remember that hasn't changed. There's things that just don't change. Unfortunately, I know people try to change stuff, but it's the way the world works.
No, but that doesn't work.
It does.
So what are women then? So if men are providers, what are women?
Women are life.
So women are life and men are providers. That's what's to me.
No. But you're talking about providing.
Women are life, men are providers.
Yeah, but you're talking about providing in a materialistic level.
Like energy work.
If we're talking about men provide the seed, yeah, or the sperm, if you want to be crude about it.
Is that not life?
Huh?
Is that not life too?
Yeah, but they've got a baking.
The women
They got
the,
baking.
the women
They're the
that
Logically,
cook it.
Yeah.
logically, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, it becomes life in them.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
They
Because
are
until
the,
it starts happening, it's
what-
not
what is
actually
it?
life yet.
what's the word?
Embryos or something. Were you trying to think what you said?
Like they are the
The womb.
the harness. Like you know when you're the harness of the person that grows.
They're the microwave.
They
man.
are the power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are the power.
Exactly. And so then, if you look at that's like one of the most
So you're
natural
providing
things.
your seed.
Yeah.
So you provide that, and then when a woman's body's changing,
Concede in the
what do
water.
you then provide? You provide support. You provide
Care.
food. You provide care. You provide all this stuff.
Then the materialistic side
No.
comes out afterwards. Yeah.
I did it on purpose, by the way. We were certain because I want. That's what I want to get at.
I just think when I say that, I don't think that women should be in the kitchen and men should be making money. For me, it goes deeper than that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if we're talking about it on that level, things stay the same, man, and they will always forever be that way.
On the chessboard, the queen's more powerful than the king, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And this is why we can't afford for women to be tapped. This is why we can't afford it, because if they are the one, then
Kill everything for
you
you.
lot have really got to like
We're killing everything for
get
everyone.
your shit right.
Mm.
But you know what you were saying about the man being like the logical one and stuff. So
It's changing though.
I don't think it's just that at all, right? So when logic's presented, is what is that? What is that? Like that kind of like brings a sense of clarity, but it doesn't mean that he's right.
No.
It has to be a certain type of man. Because with me, right, I only know a handful of men that are capable of listening, understanding, being open-minded, being empathetic, being a whole heap of stuff that it takes to kind of like see your partner, as in see her, like see her on the surface, see her on the inside, and being able to make her see logic. But that also depends on her. That's not just something that the man can, like, not every man, in fact, a lot of men are not capable of like making a woman see, you know? That's not necessarily based on the men. That's not necessarily, it could go either way, but there's a lot of factors that you have to take into account for that level of like growth to happen. Because I know some really like dope, well no, I take that back. I knew some really dope females, right? Really dope. I can't say that they were capable. And I'm not saying that I was at the time, because it might not have been me. But at the same time, like, if I'm kind of pre-ing movements now and stuff, I'm like, a lot of people don't get to be that person that grows, that evolves, that gets better with time.
But even as like from what you're saying, bringing it back to the episode we've done on like a mother's love and the impact of things, when you touched on the part of men being empathic and stuff like that, and not necessarily just sensitive, but on that kind of side of things, that links in with a lot of men won't speak. Well, let me not assume, or let me not say that, but from men I've come across, they find it hard to engage with, whether it be their partners or females, on a certain level, because there's like a block. It's like a mental block. Because some men, I'm gonna say it outright, some men don't know how to love. They think they do, but their idea of love, and forget, not even love languages, not like how to treat a woman, but they don't know how to love, because if you sit down, whether it be as a woman, as a man, as a friend, whatever, and you actually say to them, do you think you know how to love someone? And most men will be like,
How about this? Some men think women are so tapped that they think that they ain't got anything to change within themselves.
right,
Some women think men are so trash that
it's on them. And
so it's
it's
like
a cycle.
it works both ways.
Of course, but what I'm saying as a woman who, only because I've chosen to engage with a number of guys that I know on a deeper level, when I've sat there and it's when you think it's like, oh well, do you know what? I don't really know what love is. And I'm like, but why? Because I didn't feel that I got that
You don't
from
have
my
any
mum,
models.
or I didn't have that from this
You don't
one,
have no models of love.
or exactly. So now,
That is key.
if you don't have that, how do you know what to
We
pass
still
on or
don't
to
have
share?
no models, clear models of what love is.
Right.